Hi there guys, it's Aaron here from Console Deals, back again with another on-camera video to start your week, where this time we're going to be unboxing yet another controller from the fine folks over at PowerA. They're a popular favourite here on the channel, and today they've sent us something special because it is none other than the enhanced wireless controller for Nintendo Switch, and the eagle eye among you will have noticed that it's themed in the style of a little game you might have heard of called Apex Legends. So they've sent us this one over here to take a look at and open up. I believe it's their vanilla, almost sort of standard controller substitute for the Nintendo Switch. So they're really hoping to entice players here in terms of picking up a third-party, slightly cheaper alternative gamepad option. So before I dive into my deeper thoughts, you guys know what's next up. Let's dive right on in with the unboxing. So here we are guys with the Apex Legends enhanced wireless controller from PowerA. Just taking a look at the back here, it tells you all the interesting features. And one thing I can appreciate about PowerA is that they always do a nice job with the packaging. In this case, you can view what you're getting, the overall design from the front. That differs slightly to the Nano controller we unboxed a few weeks back, but it works just as well, all the same. So let's slip this one out here. Not too much of a surprise, obviously, because of the transparent packaging, but still important to have a look. And as you can see, a nice touch is it is powered using AA, even though it's wireless, and they've included batteries for you. So let's just take a look at the literature as we always do. This is your very basic PowerA startup guide. But basically guys, all you need to know in order to connect this controller to the Switch is to use the change grip order setting on your console, press the pairing button on the controller itself, and then you're pretty much good to go. And like I said, Duracell AA batteries, they've not skimped out here. I can appreciate that. So looking at the controller itself, obviously very much in keeping with the Apex Legends Red, this overall battered and rusted metal design. Offset analog sticks, very similar to the shape of the official Nintendo Switch Pro controller, but the buttons do give you a good sense of feedback. And speaking of buttons, here you can see the advanced gaming buttons, totally programmable to any function on the controller. And then obviously you'll slip your batteries in there whenever you want it powered, and you can get up to 30 hours worth of charge from a single pair of batteries. But overall guys, nothing too exciting, but if you're a fan of Apex Legends, it's relatively light. You know, you can't complain. You're gonna know what to expect. So I thought we'd just take a look at this in comparison to the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. The Pro controller is a lot heavier, but overall it's a very similar design. If you're used to using this one and you're just looking for a cheap alternative for Player 2, or should something happen to your main controller, I would say the enhanced controller is going to do you just fine. And then lastly, to cap us off, because there's not too much to talk about, I thought we'd compare this to another PowerA controller design, which is the PowerA Fusion Pro. So this one's obviously got rubberized grips. You've got the option to have programmable buttons on the back, and that one's powered through USB-C. Unlike the one we're reviewing today, which is relatively light, powered via batteries, and is plastic all over. But the difference here is that, you know, the one on the left is a cheaper alternative, the right one is professional. And there you have it guys, in terms of what to expect from the box when you open it. Obviously not very much here compared to some of the other unboxings we do on the channel, where there's loads of different sorts of pieces and friction rings and thumbstick alternatives and back button swap outs. This is just a very standard simple controller, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a poor controller. Even if the enhanced Nintendo Switch controller doesn't really excel in any particular area, I believe this is a good controller if you're looking for something that's just a good all-rounder. So yeah, as you probably saw in the video, obviously the PowerA guys, they've done a really good job in terms of the overall design of the controller with this particular Apex Legends style. Because if you're not familiar, this is the enhanced wireless controller. It's available in, I want to say, easily over 10 different designs, ranging from, you know, Mario themes to Zelda themes, Yoshi, and I think there's even a Diablo 3 one which coincided when Ultimate Edition released on the Nintendo Switch. But for the purposes of this review, they sent us the Apex Legends red one, which I'm very happy to accept because I dabbled a little bit in Apex Legends myself, and I can comfortably say that this is a controller that very much fits in to the style of that universe. Obviously, it's styled to look like a battered, almost rusted metal red, perfectly in keeping with something that you might see when you're out there on the battlefield trying to survive and become the last person standing. So in terms of the controller itself, it is wireless, but the first thing to mention is that while it connects via Bluetooth 5.0, it's not chargeable. So this one obviously is powered by two AA batteries, and I know that there's kind of a rift between gamers, especially within gaming circles, as to which is better. You know, would you prefer a controller that charges and holds charge via USB-C or micro USB back in the day, or would you prefer sort of the Xbox traditional style of just classic old AA batteries? Obviously, you can solve a lot of this problem just by, you know, purchasing rechargeable AA batteries yourself. Then you don't have to keep on buying a load. But the good thing is that PowerA have ensured that with the AA batteries, you know, you can get 30 hours of playtime out of this controller, which is no slouch. And I would wager is a lot more than the sort of 15 to 20 you're looking at if you buy a third-party controller that is powered via USB-C. So lots of things to think about there. Then in terms of the controller itself, there's not very many bells and whistles, guys. There's no rubberized back grips, you know, if you've got sweaty hands to prevent it from slipping. There's no anti-friction ring, so you can't adjust the kind of, you know, sort of feel of, you know, aiming when you're playing FPSs, as this controller is obviously designed for on Nintendo Switch. But the one thing it does have are the two advanced gaming buttons located on the back, which you can obviously see here, and they click in nicely. And you've got the programmable button in the middle there, so you can just swap out the function of buttons on the fly. Super simple, super easy, and you can't really go wrong. Now, obviously, while the back buttons are indeed a good addition, it's not really anything unique, because you'll find that with PowerA in particular, and even other brands like Nacon, you know, they'll have back buttons on the back of their third-party controllers just to say that they can do that they're doing something different from the official first-party option. Obviously, you would have seen in the unboxing just now, I compared it to both the Nintendo Switch Pro controller as well as PowerA's own Fusion Pro controller. While the Fusion Pro also has back buttons, the official first-party option from Nintendo obviously doesn't. So if you are, you know, a competitive player playing on Nintendo Switch, but you're using a wired controller, and for some reason you want those extra flexibility when playing, you got the back buttons there, which will help. Other than that, guys, there's not really much else to say. This is, you know, it's comfortable to hold. It's extremely lightweight, probably because they don't have to store, obviously, you know, a native power pack in the controller itself. So it, you know, it doesn't weigh heavy in the hands. You're never going to ache after long play sessions. But other than that, it's a really sleek, stylish controller. Generally retails here in the UK for around about $39.99, though depending on which color or design you want, you might be able to find it a little bit cheaper. But other than that, guys, a solid controller, good alternative to the Nintendo Switch Pro. And one final thing worth mentioning before I forget is that it does maintain the gyroscopic control. So if you're playing a game like, I believe, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, which I've been playing recently, you know, and you can adjust the console itself, you don't have to sacrifice that control option when going third party with the Nintendo Switch Enhanced controller from PowerA. So that just about does it, guys. I want to thank you for watching as ever. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. It really does help a lot, and there's lots of exciting things coming on the channel, particularly as we are about to enter E3 season. Isn't it exciting? But once again, thank you for watching. I want to say see you next time, and until next time, happy gaming!